Hello. Good morning.
Hello.
So wonderful to see you all.
Morning.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Wow, that's quite an opportunity.
Morning from Argentina.
Hello. Evening from
Hi in
UAE.
Argentina.
Morning
Hello.
from
Hello from
Brazil.
India.
Hello, everyone.
Hello from Poland.
Morning from
Hi
China.
from Australia.
Good evening from India.
Welcome everyone. If you're just joining, go ahead and turn your camera on, say hello, and then you're welcome to add to the chat box where you're joining from.
Hello. Hello.
It looks like we're nearly
Hello, I'm
capacity.
from Malaysia.
Hi in Malaysia.
Hello.
Everyone. Hello.
Hello. Hello from India.
Hello, everyone.
Hi in India.
Hello from India. Bye. From Romania.
Hello. So many countries.
Hello from India.
Hello, greetings from Uruguay.
Hello from Romania.
Hello from India.
Hello from Turkey.
Hi in Turkey. It's great to see you all.
Hello from Turkey.
Hi,
Hello.
Hello from Moldova.
Hi in
from
Moldova.
China.
Hi in China. It's
Hello
great to
from
see
Qatar.
everyone.
Hello from Abu Dhabi.
Hello, I'm from Brazil.
Hello from Abu Dhabi.
Hi in Brazil. Hi in Abu Dhabi.
Hi, this is Vijay from India.
Hello from Turkey.
So nice to see you all.
Hello
So it
from
looks like we are just at capacity for our meeting. And so we are also so happy to be live streaming on Facebook.
Hello, this is Miss Samna from Abu Dhabi.
Great to see
I hope
you
you're all doing good during this
Hi,
pandemic.
Parveen.
Of course. Thank you.
We'll go ahead and get started in about 1 minute.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, I come.
Please feel free to leave your cameras on. We're going to go ahead and mute everyone though, so we can share with you some exciting information about the project.
Sure.
Hello,
Koen.
my name is Koen. I'm based in Belgium, and welcome to all. And Jen and I are really happy to have you on board of this project and this call. So please, I would suggest that we all mute our microphones. And so climate change is real.
Sir, you're not audible. So we're not able to hear you.
Muted your mic, so please unmute your mic.
Yeah, I tried to.
Thank you.
So hello, climate change is real. And we think, DAG thinks, believes that there are other ways to make sure that students are learning about climate change than asking them to memorize a definition about climate change. We think that students have the capacity to do more, to solve problems, to take action even. And so 4 years ago, DAG decided to launch a new project, the Climate Action Project, which is a global project. And we think that it is really important to target the UN Sustainable Development Goals. So far, we had participants in 128 different countries, and we will launch this project next week on Monday, September 28th, for 6 weeks. And we want students to do the work. We want them to explore, to brainstorm, to solve problems, to create, to have fun, and to share their findings at our website, climateaction.info. Because we noticed that when you put students in contact on a global scale, that there's magic going to happen. We also think that it's really important for teachers to be part of a network, on a global scale, because that will allow you to grow your professional learning network, your PLN. The project was launched in 2017, and by then we had like 50 different schools on board of the project, I would say in 35 different countries, maybe more. But what started as trying to do something extraordinary within the classroom walls grew to a movement, basically, to do something more than just doing something great with your students. We were able to reach governments and to bring national change. It's a free project, and it is clearly bringing change bottom up. It was endorsed by Dalai Lama, by Jane Goodall. Yesterday, we had the president of Austria, and every single day, magic is happening, really. It's really inspiring to see what's happening. And that is not only because of Jen and me, that is because of you. The project was covered by media across 45 different countries, including National Geographic, etc., etc. And it's all about your students, about you, about learning. What we want is making learning authentic. And how can you do that? Well, by making sure that students from Sierra Leone are connected with students from New Zealand, from Japan, China, Canada, South Africa, Argentina, every corner across the world, basically. We want students to be creative and how to bring empathy in your classroom. We want them to solve problems, and we want to do this in a synchronous and asynchronous way. And that is why we came up with the Climate Action Project, basically. And this year, we will be having way more participants. We will be working with WWF and 50 other participants from across the world who made sure that we have teachers in so many different countries, but also helped us to co-author the curriculum, which Jen will explain more about. We're working with the UN, with NASA, and we also came up with new initiatives. Plant At, a global tree planting. Last year, we planted 1.2 million trees during 2 single weeks. In the air, it's a project in which we will send microbits with sensors to about 150 or 100 countries so that students are able to gather data about air pollution, but also try to solve and take action. And we will even be able to try to send a message to space. Jen, is there anything you want to add to this?
I think you covered it. I'm letting people in and managing the chat box, so we're great here.
Okay.
Thanks, Koen.
So a few examples. Okay, so we are bad teachers right now, you know. This is more like a single way of instruction. I am the teacher right now, and you will have to listen for, I would say, 40 minutes, and then we will do a brief Q&A. So please try to be muted. Okay. I'd like to share a few interesting examples of what happened during the last years.
So you're not audible, sir? Excuse me, sir.
There are two devices
There is a lot of
together.
operation going on, some disturbances.
Okay, a mute always works, you know. A few examples what happened during the past years. A lot of teachers have been doing really interesting things in their classrooms. They created eco-friendly cars with cardboards. They used pizza boxes to create eco-friendly landscapes, etc. But some really were extraordinary because they went to a national scale. We had a tree planting of 60 million trees in Malawi. In Canada, they 3D printed coral reefs. In Indonesia, they made eco bricks, and that was covered by national TV. In the US, students created their own solar suitcase, which was shipped to an African school in a refugee camp and now gives free electricity to one school in that particular refugee camp. But we also had teachers who invited their parents to the classroom, and so they were able to bring change at home as well. We had Argentinian schools creating their own recipe for bioplastics, and Indian schools created a solar-driven cart. It's really remarkable and really inspiring. And it's really interesting when you're able to share what you are doing with other teachers, so they are able to see and try to do the same basically with their students and be inspired. Bringing teachers in one network not only allows you to share highlights and best practices and success, but also concerns. You can share that maybe in your classroom with your students, collaborative learning is not working at all. So we also want you to share what's not working so that we can help you as well. And for that, we also have facilitators. We have teachers who joined during the past years during one of our projects, and they will personally guide you through this process. Every week, we will be sending an email with guidelines. We will try to do that on Thursday. So in case you didn't receive an email, you will have to find it on the website. And what we want is that you and your students create a very small video or a presentation, but we prefer videos, and you post that at the website, simply so that other teachers know what's happening in your country, in your area, what you are doing basically. Because climate change in Australia, they had bushfires. In Sierra Leone, they had mud flows. In Florida, with Jen, they have tornadoes. In every area, climate change may be different. And what's a better way to learn about that than from other students and teachers globally? We also know that COVID is a real threat, and it really made a tricky thing to teach. Some students are at home, we have lockdowns, we have teachers who are really insecure, and that is why we are really happy to have you on board of this call and this project as well. What is key to know is that you decide. We are really flexible in this. You decide at all times how much time you want to spend on this project. This can be like 1 hour a day, 30 minutes a week. You can skip weeks, you can combine weeks 1 and 2, or 3 and 4, whatever. We even have activities to be taken at home by your students, which require a very low amount of resources. We always take in mind and keep in mind that we have students from every continent, and for some, it's just not that easy to join the project. We know that, and we try to make sure that everybody is able to join this project. And that is why we also modified and adapted the program and the curriculum a little bit. Jen, why don't you elaborate on the team?
Sure, love to. So as Koen mentioned, this is a global team of educators and partners that are working on the Climate Action Project. This is not just 2 people or 3 people that are working to bring this type of learning to classrooms. So we have an outstanding group of partners, so many different organizations that are committed to climate change and work around education. We've also partnered with multiple ministries of education. Thanks to so many of you for helping with those partnerships and communications. And those governments are working with us to not only bring the Climate Action Project to classrooms and students, but also to engage in conversations around how do we ensure that climate action and this type of work around environmental justice becomes mandated and part of the required curriculum for all students. So we're on a mission to make that happen. With the Climate Action Project, we have multiple groups of educators that are working with us. So the first group that you will probably get to know are our ambassadors. So we have ambassadors representing different countries around the world. They're helping us to do outreach to governments, to media, to different partners and organizations within their countries. We also have facilitators. So these are people that you will be directly working with over the course of the project. So we have about 150 facilitators from all around the world that speak many different languages. And what we'll do is we're going to divide up our thousands of classrooms into smaller groups that will then be able to work with facilitators. So facilitators are going to be sending you weekly emails. They're going to be guiding you and answering questions that you may have. For this project, we have participants in classrooms who've been doing this work for many years. Many of them have been involved in some of the projects that Koen and I have created in the past, and many of them have created their own. But we also have a lot of people that are new to global collaboration. So if this is your first global collaboration project, welcome. We are so thrilled to have you here and to learn together with you. So Koen and I and your facilitators are going to be working to help every step of the way. This year, we also have an incredible group of interns, so students who have graduated from their high school program and are in their gap year, and they are helping us with things like social media, helping with translations, even helping to organize some of our events, and happy to have them here with us today. So next we have teachers, that's you all. So this meeting here is specifically for our participating teachers, and we have teachers all around the world working with youngest students all the way up to our oldest students. Some are classroom teachers, some are librarians, some are school administrators. So we have everyone that is able to join on the project. Our goal really is to create free projects that are high quality, where anyone from anywhere can join. So we're so thrilled to have you with us. And then our last group, of course, is the students. And this is the group that we design everything around. So we are really looking to empower our students, to have teachers co-learn with them, and to create. So as you'll see when we get into the curriculum, this is all inquiry-based. It's meant to be hands-on. Even if you're working in distance learning settings, we really want to get classrooms collaborating, working together, and finding solutions for the planet. And that's our global team.
Right. So this is really made for teachers and for you. And what we noticed during the past years is that different continents or countries require a different approach. Just to make sure that we have teachers in Latin America, we had to make sure that the project is available in Spanish as well. That means the website, communication, the curriculum, the lesson plans, etc. But some continents or countries require a different approach. We noticed that in Africa, WhatsApp is really working well due to internet connection and issues with that. And for China, we created a WeChat group. So in case you want to join that group, please leave us a message and we will make sure that you are part of that. As for WhatsApp, we created different groups because I think the max is like about 250. So we have a group in Tanzania and other countries as well. We are working on those translations right now. I think, Jen, we are ready for the curriculum.
Okay, fantastic. All right, so we have a 6-week curriculum with lesson plans and teacher resource guide ready for you all. So you can kind of think of this in 2 parts, and we'll break it down and go through each section. And the first section is going to be the teacher guide. This is not meant to be something that you share out with students or go line by line in a direct instruction lecture. It's really meant for you to use as a resource to have a better understanding of climate change and of the work that you can do with classrooms. We'll share in a moment, but we also go into pedagogy and different technologies that you can use in these innovative type of practices. The other part is going to be the lesson plans. So these are the activities that you're going to be using with students, and we'll go through those as well. So for the first part, we have created a very comprehensive curriculum teacher guide that will walk you through all of the different components of climate change. Now, for this particular part of the program, we have partnered with WWF, and we are thrilled to have Matt here today. And maybe this, if you want to go back to the previous slide, Kuhn, that shows the, perfect. So this would be the teacher guide, and maybe we'll have Matt come on here to share a little bit about WWF's involvement in creating this teacher guide and what we have in store for our classrooms with WWF over the next few weeks. So hi, Matt. Great to have you here with us.
Hi there. Thanks for having me. Yeah, it's very exciting to be here. So I'm Matt Larson-Dorr. I'm calling from the UK, from WWF in the UK, but I am sort of representing WWF as a global organisation on this call. The partnership with Climate Action Project is very much at that global level. And for those of you that don't know, WWF, which stands for the Worldwide Fund for Nature, is a global movement for environmental action. And our vision is for a future in which people and nature live in harmony. So as Jen says, we've contributed to this curriculum. We come from a science basis, so we're very much a science-led organization. We have experts in-house who are at that cutting edge of science. So we've been able to just bring that to bear on the information that you can base your lessons and your own activities around. I hope we've also made it accessible. It's intended to be at a level that you can understand, not necessarily at a level that you can just give to your students as it is, but all your questions should be answered, pitfalls should be avoided, and hopefully you'll have what you need to be able to create some really fantastic experiences for young people diving into these issues. I just thought it would be useful to just say a few words about why WWF has come on board with CAP. We're really excited to be involved. We've kind of been around the edges in previous years, just offering, you know, one-off webinars and a bit of advice, but we haven't come on board as sort of partners at this level before. But I think that this is an incredibly important project, and obviously WWF considers climate change to be one of the biggest issues of our time that needs addressing. But in terms of this project in particular, I guess there's three really big reasons why we're keen to be involved. The first is for the planet. We think it's so important that young people coming through education today come out at the other end with an understanding of this issue, with the skills needed to address the challenges that lie ahead, and have those skills and the enthusiasm to use them in green jobs and in the net zero economies of the future. And so projects like this reach new audiences, new schools, bring teachers together to find confidence in their own practice by hearing what others are doing and getting some inspiration from the project itself and the resources we share. So we really hope that this is a big step forward for a lot of schools who've been wanting to do more around climate change with their students, and this enables them to do that and gives them the confidence to do that. The second is for the students themselves. Cohen has outlined the sort of problem solving focus of this project. It's an amazing experience, not only to go through this 6-week journey as a school, but to know that you're part of this global event, if you like, and to have the opportunity to share your own thoughts, your own experiences, you know, your own achievements with students from other countries far away. climate change is a global issue, and this helps them to understand that, but it also means the experience itself is very exciting. It's also really important for students to gain these skills and to gain this understanding of this issue, being one of the most important issues of our time, not just so that they can play a role in bringing about a positive future, but so that they can thrive in that future by having the skills and the understanding required to do as well as they can for themselves, to know what jobs are going to be future-proof, and to be able to live in a way that has a really positive impact on the planet, but also means that they can also enjoy that lifestyle going forward. And then the third reason really is that education itself is such a huge, powerful tool for change. So WWF's mission being finding that future where we live in harmony, education really is the key for that, not just because of the journey it takes students on so that they are prepared for the future, but also because of the impact that schools and school communities can have right now. You are representing an incredibly powerful part of society. Schools are not just places that students come in and out of and gain information and skills. They are places that have a ripple effect throughout the community in real time. And the things that you do as a school community will affect all of the other families in your community, businesses that you use and that interact with the school, local decision makers, and more. So we really feel that a project of this scale, working together across borders, can have a real impact here and now. And lastly, just to finish, and this hopefully you will get from the curriculum, again as mentioned, I think one of the most important things at a time like this, when the planet is in crisis around climate change and other environmental issues, is that we mustn't lose a sense of hope. And particularly, we must bring that sense of hope to young people. Now, you can't conceive a problem, you can't conceive how to solve a problem unless you understand the issue, unless you understand the problem. So part of this is about giving young people an understanding that will allow them to see a path to a better future. But also this problem-solving focus in the project means that they can start thinking about real solutions, start studying the work that's already being done. And I think there's going to be a real thread of hope that runs through this that will enable us to not just look at the scale of the crisis we're in now, but looking forward to that wonderful future that can exist if it is shaped by the young people that take part in this project this year. That's all from me. Thanks for giving me the opportunity, Cohen and Jen.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank
Okay,
you,
Jen.
Matt. We really appreciate Matt's leadership and partnership. Probably many of you were with us for our webinar earlier this year, and so that was definitely a hit for a lot of our classrooms. We look forward to doing those soon too. Okay, let me share my screen and head back over to the slides. So let me present here. Okay. Loading, there we go. So now let's kind of move from the teacher guide to the classroom lessons. So over the next 6 weeks, starting next week, our kickoff week, we are going to move classrooms through these different levels of inquiry. So every week is also going to have a collective action. So if you think of the Climate Action Project, the whole thing is about action. By the end, we may have students that are inventing and that are creating advocacy campaigns. Some might be doing theater productions or creating poems. So we're gonna have a lot of different things evolving out of this work. But every week we also have a smaller collective action that will be guiding classrooms through. So for week 1, you'll see here that we are going to be working on the level of causes and inviting classrooms to contribute to a massive, if you see the size of our meeting here today with 500 people here and then many more on the live Facebook. So this is going to be a huge ultimate list of causes of climate change. So that'll be our kickoff collective action. The following week, we'll move to effects. So after we consider causes, then we'll consider effects. We'll create a global map of climate change effects. This year, we're really excited to incorporate class-to-class virtual exchange. So if you've never before done a class-to-class virtual exchange, this can be your opportunity to try. And this is where you will partner with a classroom from somewhere around the world to have a live virtual conversation. And this will help classrooms move from just thinking about climate change on a local or personal level to really starting to understand it on a global level. Week 4, we're going to move to solutions. And this week will really be important because this is going to be creating that foundation for our students as they start to understand, how do I fit into all of this? I'm just one person on the planet. How can I make a difference? So they'll start to see, here are the solutions that are out there. Here are ways that other people are attempting to solve this climate change crisis. And we'll create another ultimate list, but this time it will be around solutions, to Matt's point of hope. How can we really lead with hope and with a positive outlook on this work? So armed with all of that information, now we're going to turn it over to them in week 5 to really start to design and develop their own solutions. So week 5 is going to be a building week, and we'll have an opportunity for them to join on office hours with some of our trusted experts and also student mentors. And so they'll be able to pitch their ideas for their solutions, get feedback, and then move through that design thinking process. Week 6, this is our celebration week. We always love to end with a celebration of all of the work. And so this is our week of action. We will have a Global Student Climate Action Day on November 5th. So mark your calendars. There'll be more information coming on that. But for that Climate Action Day, this will be a live synchronous event. We're going to have a lot of our partners joining in as speakers. So we'll have special guests, and we will also have opportunities for our classrooms to submit to present their ideas as well. So that's an overview of the agenda for our 6 weeks. So each week you're going to receive a lesson plan. So the lesson plan will have a similar format. So we have a template that they will follow, and each will include these different activities. First will be a pause and notice activity. And this is really an opportunity for students to slow down, take a moment, look at the world around them, have a moment for reflection and noticing. Here, they're going to look at their own beliefs and perspectives. They're going to look at their own biases, and then they're going to prepare for the next level, which will be exploring possibilities. So the exploring possibilities will be kind of this ideation phase. They're going to be doing research. They might be doing interviews. They're going to be requesting feedback. And this is where they're going to get all of that information to enable them to then design. So we're front loading and having them do a lot of work before we're jumping into that weekly design process. So each week they're going to design with optimism, and they are going to build on the ideas. So every week is building to that final week of action, and within the week they're building as well. And last, they'll have that opportunity for the collective action. We really want to bring back the students together for some sort of collaboration each week. So they're not working in isolation, either within their classroom, their school, or their local community. So really moving them out to the level of the planet. You'll also see with week 1 that we will have an analog and a digital option. So for classrooms that are joining us working face-to-face, we are going to guide classrooms through building a climate action box. So this is actually a physical box, and every week classrooms can add to a side. So by the end, they're going to have a full box that they can use as an anchor item for presenting their ideas, maybe to other classrooms in your school, or maybe at a school assembly. If you're working in a virtual setting, so as Kuhn mentioned, we are flexible with the Climate Action Project. We have a lot of classrooms joining. We want to make sure that the information and the actions are all accessible. So if you are working in a distance learning or a hybrid setting, then you'll be able to do that same activity with something like a Google slide deck, a Jamboard, or PowerPoint slides. So more on that. You'll also see these icons. So if you are working in person and you have students in a traditional face-to-face setting, look for that icon with the 3 heads in a conversation. Or if you're in distance learning, you'll see the classroom to classroom exchange there on the computers. So we've tried to point those out for you. All right, so just to quickly show you one example. So this is week 1. Every week is going to look a little bit similar, but what you do during the week will change. So on the left, you see the beginning of the week 1 lesson. We always are going to start with questions. Questions are at the center of what we're working on here. So it's all about inspiring inquiry. We don't want to provide the answers to our students. We want to help them find those answers on their own. So questions of the week, a collective action. Then you can see here, we go into that pause and notice section. For us in week 1, we really don't want to have any assumptions. We want to develop a shared vocabulary. So we are guiding students to start considering what is the difference when we talk about weather compared to climate. And so we'll go through some activities on that. Also thinking about our trusted experts. So this is a great opportunity to talk about bias, especially when you're talking about something around climate change. There's a lot of opinions out there. So we're really wanting to go back to the science and look to our trusted experts to help us do that. You can see here, we're looking to WWF, NASA, National Geographic, United Nations as our trusted experts. But what we want students to do is start to understand who their trusted experts are as well. In week 1, they then will be going into the causes of climate change now that they know the difference between climate and weather. And then they will design with optimism, developing a personal connection to climate change. And they'll finish up with adding to that ultimate list of causes. Every week we'll have extensions. The students will be able to work together with you as their teachers to submit a weekly action video. So these are very important. You'll submit those on the Climate Action Info website, and you will be able then to show progress over time. So every week we'll have a video. All right, just to finish up before I turn it back over to Koen, we are thrilled to announce that our curricula is being translated into multiple languages. So this is the first time we've been able to do that. We are working on building out this library of translations over time, but we're gonna kick off with a really nice collection to start. So you can see a preview of some of the languages that we're working on right now. Lastly, you all are going to get a digital badge. So in recognition of your participation, we want to kick it off with a special gift. So each of you as the participating teacher will receive a special digital badge, and also recognizing your students' work. So your classrooms will receive a badge as well. At the end of the Climate Action Project, so in November, all classrooms that went all the way through with us will also receive a certificate of participation that we will provide over to you. So can't wait to have you all jump into the curriculum. Again, thank you to Matt for all of his support in helping us author this. It has been quite an endeavor, and we're so proud of it and can't wait to get your feedback and see your students creating. So Koen, I'll pass it back to you.
Okay. So let's go through the website. The website is key in this project. This would be the homepage where you can find some of those great examples, but also the timeline. It's really important that you register at this website, which is quite easy. Just teachers sign up. And then once signed in, you will be able to find the curriculum and the lesson plans. You can download those documents in English right now, but it will be available in Chinese, Russian, Turkish, French, Portuguese, Spanish, and 5 more languages. So make sure that you find these documents because they will give you the accurate and solid information as a teacher. It's more meant to be a document of research for you, not for your students. But also at the website, you're able to create your own network. You can connect with other teachers, you can build your network, you can find teachers in other countries like Argentina. You can follow whoever you want, but also you can contact them. You can send messages to those teachers on demand by country. What's also really interesting is that I was really inspired to see that you can create bioplastics with milk and vinegar. I would say that 90% of all participants are able to do that at home, but also in a classroom. And so what we did is we made a huge collection of those lesson plans. You can find lesson plans and resources from WWF, but also like Steve, our friend Stephen Ritz in New York, he created how you can create a vertical garden, even from trash, send a letter to a plant. I created something about bioplastics, but you can also find how to create your own biogas plant, how to create a seed bomb, a solar oven, a solar-driven car from trash, etc. And everything you really like this is from Ines from Portugal. She created a resource about solar light with a water bottle. She brought this to Africa as well. You can find this, you can try to replicate this with videos. You can bookmark this, you can follow Ines, and you can even download this resource and change, adapt, and modify, and then upload it to the website so that everybody is able to benefit from what you have been doing. You can add your own resources as well, and you can find your bookmarks with all of those resources you really, really like. But also, the idea of this project is that every single week, you will upload something to the website. This can be like a video, or a presentation, or images. And please do create take some pictures from your students and what they are doing. But you can add those to the website, and you can bookmark those as well. We will create the longest list of causes, effects, and solutions. You can add those here, so everybody is able to access a really great list of solutions from every corner of the world. You can find your bookmarks over here. You can find the timeline, but this is basically the timeline as well, which is aligned with the lesson plans, which Jen has been sharing. And you even have your private diary, where you can drop some messages, what went well, what didn't really went well. And this is, as it already mentions, private, so nobody will be able to read those. That's basically the website. Going back to the presentation right now. So what's next? Please do download the curriculum and the lesson plans and make sure that you're prepared. Expect an email on Thursday. So we will be sending the first email with guidelines tomorrow. In case you didn't receive the email, because that's quite tricky, you know. We have a lot of teachers, thousands of teachers, and we noticed that some of the emails are going to spam boxes. And so you will be finding all of our communications and emails and guidelines at our website, climateaction.info/mail. Let me drop that in the chat. Or Jen, you can do that. And don't forget to make fun, to have fun during the project, which is really key. You know what? Jen and I, we have been contacting media, partners, organizations, presidents, and it's not easy. But in case you keep pushing and never give up, then you are able to bring national change as well. media is important to make sure that we also are able to change society's mindset. Organizations are important to bring substantial change, and governments as well. I think we can do a lot this year, not only bringing change with our students' behavior, but also trying to bring national change. We already had a lot of teachers who send a message to their president, to their minister of education, to their ministry of environment. And Austria, last year we received a letter from the president of Ireland, etc., etc. And so, in case you're really excited, in case you really care, and you are thrilled to be part of this project, please share a message on social media and try to ping or to add some world leader or some leader in your country, in your area, in your city. And together, I think we can do a wonderful job. Again, this is not our project, Jen and me and Matt. This is all of our project. This is your project. This is your students' project. And together we can do a wonderful thing, I think. Maybe some of us do have questions. So we will do a very quick round. So in case you have a question, make sure it's an important one, and feel free to drop it in the chat. I'm a bit afraid about activating a microphone to ask a question, but we also want to make sure that everybody is prepared and excited for this project. Maybe some final words from you, Jen?
Yep, and I can share some of the questions I've been seeing. So one question we had, Koen, is when is the deadline for registering to participate?
Yeah, so the deadline would be like Monday. I think like today would be the best option because that way the teachers are able to be prepared. They are able to go through the resources, read the emails we've been sending. Those who are not registered will not receive those guidelines and those emails, but we will make sure that everybody is informed by September 28th, and even joining throughout the project is something you can do. You can even do the project during the next months, but there will be no virtual exchanges. And that is something we noticed that the students really, really appreciate. And you will also be missing out the wonderful Climate Action Day with really interesting speakers.
Okay, another question on the weekly video for uploading. What does that process look like? And I'm imagining some people probably are wondering about if their students should be a part of that video.
Yeah, so the video doesn't have to be really super professional, you know. You can use your phone, you can use a webcam. Try to make one video with all of your students instead of like 20 videos. You will not be able to add those to the website. It's also interesting how the students bring each other on a global scale to a next level. They will see the videos from the other classrooms and they will see that they have been using free tools, which are really exciting. And you can see that the level or the quality of those videos is improving throughout the project as well. Make sure that you that you remind about privacy in your country. Students may not be able to be part of the videos, or at least their identity, their face, to make sure that your parents agree. You can also create a video about what they have been doing. In most cases, as part of the week one, it's a very small introduction into their school, their country, their habits, their culture, etc. So it's interesting to see those videos. Yeah.
Okay.
Also, try to make sure that your students are able to watch some of the videos from the other continents throughout week 2, week 3, etc.
Okay. another great question here about registering students. So someone wondering if the teacher should just register or if students should register as well. And then what should the number of students in a class be?
Okay, so we only accept teachers at the website. Just like Facebook is not allowing students aged 8 and 10, we always communicate through teachers. We trust that you are the expert, and there's no minimum amount of students required. 1 or 2 students is fine. Even without students, you can join and learn from other teachers globally, from the experts. So yeah, we're flexible about that part. Yeah.
And then what about ages of students who can participate?
So the project always from the very beginning was suited for students aged 6 to 22. We had students in kindergarten as well. We had students in universities. And all of those students and all of those teachers' classrooms will join at their own capacity. While in Colombia, students aged 8 were creating cardboard cars, which were eco-friendly. We had students creating inventions at the age of 16 and 18, and we had students in universities doing research about this and interviewing people and etc. So you can all join at your own capacity, I would say. Yeah.
Okay, just scanning quickly. We had a few questions on video tools and platforms used for video conferencing, but I think Matt and Herman have addressed those. We'll talk more about the class-to-class virtual exchange that will be part of week 3 soon. And let's see. I think maybe here, Koen, just on how can people access, I guess a couple people are asking on how to register. So maybe we should just share on that one more time, and then also on how they can access the information and connect with classrooms.
Yeah. So at the website, I think the address was already added to the chat. Climate-action.info allows to sign up. Teachers sign up. It will go straight to climate-action.info/join us. I'm already signed up, so I'm not able to join the website anymore, or I should sign off. But so it's just like teachers sign up. It will allow you to sign up through Facebook or by filling in and submitting a registration form, which will ask for your name, the name of the school, your password, etc. And it's maybe important to know, we are willing to share those as well, but we have this website in a lot of different languages. So it's also available in Chinese. And you can go to china.climateaction.info, but also Latin America, Arabic, Tunisia. I would say like it's available in I think in 30 different versions and different languages, even the 2 languages, Dari and Pashto in Afghanistan. So, and this was all done by teachers. I think it's important to know, just want to mention very briefly that this project has not been funded ever. So we are all volunteers. Nobody is making money out of it. And that's also a really strong part of this project, to see what we have been doing during the past years with $0. Silence. Hi, Catherine.
We have a lot of great conversation in the chat box, Koen. I think Matt had a point here, and maybe it'd be a nice way for us to kind of start to conclude on just that this can not needing to have this be the end. So the 6-week project, it doesn't need to end there, that this work can keep going, and maybe what we envision for the future and how classrooms can continue to be a part of the work.
Yeah. Exactly. What I wanted to add is that this year what I noticed is that some students really came with inventions, new stuff, really exciting solutions, and we want to support them as well in a variety of different ways. So what will be one way is that we will create a group who is really interested, a group of teachers really interested in the creating stuff and the inventing part, so that they are able to brainstorm and inspire each other from the very beginning. But also, what we want to try this year is try to make sure that those groups are supported throughout the next months. And we really hope that this will not be the end of the project in November, that you will keep trying to bring change in your classroom, at home, in your school, and in your society as well. Matt, some final words from your side?
Well, just to say, yeah, a big good luck to everyone in making the most of this exciting opportunity. And I think it's been clear from what you and Jen have both said, but there is no one way to participate in this. This is just intended to give as many teachers and students everywhere in the world as possible that extra boost, that extra incentive to take steps into this area. And there's loads of extra support available as a result of this program. But don't feel like if you can't do everything that's being put out there from CAP or from WWF, that it's not worth participating. Just participate as much as you can. And as Jen mentioned from my comment, carry it on beyond the 6 weeks. Don't feel restricted by the timeline. Everyone's doing exams at different times. People are affected by the pandemic in different ways. So it's not about following a particularly strict 6-week structure and covering certain content in a certain way. It's about diving in and inspiring your students in whichever way works. So good luck.
Thank you, Matt. I just want to end this webinar with mentioning that we really appreciate you. I've been teaching for 20 years, and you, as a teacher, you really can do more than sharing your passion and expertise in your classroom. I'm a really normal, mediocre teacher, and I think that it's important to know that you can do so much. And I want to state that I really, really appreciate you, you at home. I really appreciate what you've been doing and what you're about to do. And thank you so much for joining this project. And thank you so much, Matt from WWF as well. We really appreciate you. Thank you. And the final words go to you, Jen.
To me, wonderful. Thank you, Koen. Well, I just want to thank Koen for creating this remarkable project. Several years ago, he was sharing with me a few days ago that the first climate action project was just a small group of people, just a handful of people that were passionate about climate change and empowering the voices of students. And look at it today, we're filling a video call room with teachers from all around the world that maybe don't see themselves as experts in climate change. I definitely don't. That's why we're so grateful to be able to look to experts like Matt to help us guide the way. But you don't have to be an expert. Look at this as a learning adventure for you and your students to co-learn through the process, to dive in, as Matt said, and to really just be open to possibilities. We are thrilled to be on this journey with you and can't wait to learn together over the next 6 to 7 weeks. We are here for you. We have a team of people that are here for you. So please continue to reach out. As you may imagine, with thousands of participants, it may take Koen and I a couple days to get back with you, but we are all over our emails and WhatsApp groups and the website. So we want to be present and available. And again, thank you so much for jumping in and being a part of this work. We are here for the long run. We are ready to take action with you all. And thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
All right. Good day, everyone. We will see you online in the next few days.
Good luck.
Thank you. Thank
Bye.
you.
Thanks
from Australia.
Hello.
Thank you,
Bye.
everyone.
Thank you.
Everyone. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Everyone.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for being here.
Bye. Bye.
Stay well. Stay happy.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Triana.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Susanna. Bye, Lee.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye, Vlad. Thanks for being here.
See you later, alligator.
See you later, alligator.
Thank you.
Benimki niye kapandı Zoom'u?
Bye, Gino. Bye, Josine.
Beni atmadılar. Sesli geliyor da.
Alta kaçmıştık sen.
Hi, Stephanie's kids.
Good night.